First and foremost, congratulations to the newlywed couple, Meghan and Harry, the Duchess of Sussex. Like, that's a huge deal.
That's a really big deal. And let's just take a second here and acknowledge that we have a black princess, y'all.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of conversation. I don't care about it. You know, the only royal wedding I cared about is the Coming to America wedding, and we've been royal. Yes, all things we know.
Totally.
We understand that, we're not fighting that. But let's be honest here.
But now we're royal.
Now we have a black person who is of royalty in England. We have that.
Come on. Come on. That's a huge deal.
It's a really big deal.
And the wedding, so I actually got up at 4 a.m. And I wasn't originally going to do it, but my grandma was hyped. And I was like, should I be hyped about this? Then my mom was hyped. And my mom went over to spend the night with my grandma so that they could get up at 4 a.m. to watch this wedding.
So they were not playing any games.
And spoiler alert, they stayed up all night. They didn't go to bed. My grandma was cooking greens. Preparing. You know
it's something.
Yeah. That's so country.
Yeah, and I didn't end up staying up with joy, but I had woke up in the middle of the night and saw the TV reflection. Yeah. So then I came out of the bedroom and then caught the very end.
Right at the end. You came when they were doing the whole carriage thing.
Yep. And I was like, what is happening? She's like, you just missed it, but fortunately because the internet is amazing, I went and saw the replay and watched the whole thing, and I was just like, yeah, we have a black princess, y'all. That's dope. And she does identify as biracial, as she should. She's a biracial woman. But the wedding, because she was raised by her black mother, and the wedding was black. I just told Justin, I was like, hey, that was black as like when he came in, I wasn't prepared. I was like, oh, okay, yes, this is symbolic. But they had what is he? He's not a minister. What? Bishop Michael Curry is the GOAT.
Bishop Michael Curry was just a preaching. Didn't care that he was at the royal wedding. He was like, this is a regular Sunday service. I'm going to go over time. I'm going to tell you, or you say your part.
No, go ahead. You say all that.
Okay. This is Sunday service. I'm going to go over time. I'm going to acknowledge that I know that I'm going over time, but it's important because Jesus. And we're going to drive this point home. It was amazing.
Let's take a second and acknowledge the true star of the royal wedding, and that was indeed Bishop Michael Curry. Now, anyone who's been to a black church knows when the pastor starts to preach, and whether it's going to be a 30-minute sermon or an hour-and-a-half sermon. Yeah. And once the MLK quotes came out, I said, okay, we're gonna have the hour-and-a-half sermon. My man referenced MLK multiple times. He referenced slavery, talk about we get back to love, that'll be the end of violence, world hunger, we'll lay down our arms. He came all the way with everything. And then in the fact, when he said, I know you guys need to get married and let's get back to it, but I still have more to say. And you all know that moment when you're like, okay, pastor, it's been about an hour, and then you say you're about to close. I know you guys need to get back to your regular.
So you have acknowledged
to get back to your regular day, but then you say, but before y'all get back to your regular day, and then you go on and preach for another 30 minutes. He didn't do it for another 30, but he gave you what a black sermon. Yes, it was. He gave you what a black sermon looked like. I said, if you don't go on with your bad self, Bishop Michael Curry.
I'm happy that everyone got that preview because I think everyone was very much under the impression that it was going to be a mixing of American and English traditions, but it kind of ended up being Black American and English traditions, which was, I was not expecting that, and that's a huge moment. That's a huge moment.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't really following any of the follow-up to the royal wedding. I've never really been into them. And then after I watched the ceremony, I was like, you know what, let me go back and really start digging. And I started looking up and I was like, no, this is a big deal. We can sit here and we'll have whatever comments we may want to have, but this is a real big deal. And I was hyped. I was like, you know, Harry, I like you. Yeah. Like, I really
said, I need a Harry shirt.
I really did. I was like, yo, who's got a Harry shirt? I just want to know, where can I go buy a Harry shirt and say, I'm with Harry.
He's invited to the barbecue.
To all the cookouts. Like, I just want to know where the Harry shirt's at. So if you know where the Harry shirt's at, please let me know so I can go ahead and purchase me one. And then I looked at some of the traditions that they did differently. Specifically, they wanted, as Joy said, they wanted it to be a blending of their two cultures. And Harry didn't shave. That was against typical traditions. They willingly took out obey from their vows, and instead of saying man and wife, they changed it to husband and wife. So those were two specific things in their vows that they wanted to do away with tradition, saying no, this is very much a partnership. And 2, royalty, the men typically don't wear rings. Prince William doesn't wear a ring, and his father, was that Prince Charles, doesn't wear a ring. But Harry wanted a ring, and Meghan Markle presented him with the ring. So there'll be, TBD, to be determined, if he will continue to wear a ring, but it looks like and sounds like that he will, although royalty typically does
you guys know they're in love. He will be wearing that ring. They're in love. They're completely smitten with one another. You could tell, you know, the wedding, even though it did have a looser structure, was still very formal. And they were very kind of giggly about it.
Oh, and you know,
giggly without being giggly.
And like, you know the thing I love too, back to my dog Bishop Michael Curry, is the cutaways of all the people who were in attendance.
My God.
These folks were trying so hard not to laugh. Like, what
they
is
didn't
going
know how
on?
to react because
no clue.
Because English culture isn't very expressive, and American culture in general is very expressive. And then if you take black culture on top of that, yes,
loud.
We're
colorful.
10.
Yeah,
yes.
we're colorful.
We're genuinely a very passionate and colorful and energetic culture. So I don't know. I was just so excited to see all that, and then the choir.
I was gonna say we forgot to mention the choir.
I didn't forget about the choir. I was just still on the bishop. Like I can't. My brain can't process it. I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed.
They sang "Stand By Me." The black choir came back. Oh, wait. Did they just do a cutaway?
Yeah.
And we got a whole black choir in the back?
Yeah. And they were like, stand by me. Oh, stand. You know.
You just over here feeling it, huh?
Yeah, and the choir director was getting it and like,
I wasn't ready. Like, I really was not ready. I was not ready for that to happen. And then the black cellist. I was like, we had everybody. The culture was represented.
Yeah.
So say what you want to say about Meghan Markle and her biracial identity and whether or not, look, I'm not here to debate that.
Yeah.
You can say what you want, but just know black culture was represented in the royal wedding.
Right. And it's not a black versus white thing.
No.
We're not hyped because it's like, oh, black, white. It's actually black and white. Like, that's what we want, is coexistence, equality, representation, and the fact that it happened at the royal wedding and the person who's getting married is also a representative. It's just beautiful.
It's a win.
And they're so in love, like truly in love. Ugh, I cannot deal. I can't deal. I'm so excited.
And then when they process out, then the black choir starts singing.
Yes, amen.
Like, what? Come on, y'all. If you can't,
I think that's what I was like. Oh, yo, this was black. This is
if
really
you
black.
guys can't celebrate, if we can't, as a culture, if we can't celebrate this win, then what's wrong? We got to celebrate our wins. We can say we can be divisive all we want, question this. Look, this is a win. And let's celebrate not only a win, but let's also celebrate the love of two people.
Yeah.
Like, it's a beautiful thing.
I'm so excited
Two people who are in love
what they
got married. And the thing about them is they are in a really good position. Like, Harry is in the ultimate position because he's 6th in line to be the king. So he gets all the royalty perks without probably, with knowing that he'll probably never will be the king.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can just do what we want. We can chill. We can do our humanitarian efforts. We can hang out. We have new titles. But look, baby, I'm not going to be the king. So let's live. My older brother has to deal with that. Like, that is the perfect setup.